You know, comic book collecting philosophers have pondered that age-old question of what came first, the speculation or the Fomo? Perhaps the answer has always been they are one and the same. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this video, it's happening again. Last time it had begun, but now it is begunning. It is in the begin state. We're actually past begun and it has began. We are now officially in Marvel Rivals Speculation Town because, man oh man, Key Collector hopping on the train for this thing. Not only has the Trending 20 list come out just yesterday, riddled with books related to Marvel Rivals, but they even opened up a category, Marvel Rivals Skins. I'm a little bit jealous of this because I was going to actually do the video that was the, go-to video for, so you played that game, now where can you buy all the skins? Because I thought that that would actually be, a really good resource for all those video game players out there. But everyone is ahead of me because this game is so hot right now. Look at this. All of the sales for My Name is Jeff. It's just absolutely insane. So in this video, I wanted to go through this kind of Key Collector update, talk about, the books on the Trending 20 list, talk about the Marvel Rival skin, show you guys a little bit of what's actually moving out there in the market, and ask ourselves a question: how long do we think that all of this stuff is going to last? But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps support the channel doing those things, but also let's take a moment to shout out the sponsor of this video, Comic Book Boys Auctions. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're not interested in sharks walking on land. You're more interested in that vintage stuff. Well, check out CBB Auctions. They're having their big signature auction tomorrow, Saturday the 14th, where they have some of the biggest grails going up for sale, like a Tales of Suspense 39 and an 8.0, a TMNT first print 9.4. You got a Star Wars 35-cent variant in a 9.0 right here, and even X-Men #1 in a 3.0 raw. Some massive books going up for auction, and I highly recommend that you guys go follow this page. I've actually bought from this auction house a few times before, and then actually next week I'm going to do a recap of some of those sales, and I want to compare them to what those books will be getting on the bigger auction houses, and do a whole conversation around alternative auctions. Should you be selling on them? Should you be buying from them? Well, in my opinion, you should definitely be doing both on cbbauctions.com. Be sure to check them out. That's cbbauctions.com. I'll put a link in the description. Big sale tomorrow. But perhaps the sales we need to talk about now are these ones coming off of Key Collector. Like I said, the Trending 20 list already came out, and the Trending 20 isn't something that I normally cover. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there like Mighty Comics and Collectibles that covers the Trending 20 list. Of course, Comic Tom always covers the Trending 20 list, but I thought this was one that I should talk about because there are so many books on here that relate to the Marvel Rivals video game. Again, we have to go back to our conversation. Are these the gamers themselves buying these books? Probably not. They don't know that these books actually relate to the game. And so, it's the same old crowd that is speculating on them. But still, it's interesting. It is conversation for us to have. It is information that you guys should know about just so you can be aware of these things moving out there. Now, the #1 book on the list is Captain America Steve Rogers #1. I actually didn't talk about this one, but this is the first appearance of Captain America as Hydra Cap. A lot of people talking about how Captain America is going to be showing up in the Secret Wars movie, and that they're probably going to do like a Hydra Cap version. I mean, can we not? Can we not do that thing? I mean, it's just bad booking. I know you guys are trying to be clever, and it's like, oh, what if we made, Chris Evans the bad guy? Oh, great. Now I get to watch my favorite superhero get beat up by my least favorite superhero, Shang-Chi. How fun is that going to be? Just do the bit. Bring him back, have him say Avengers Assemble, and then, punch Doom in the face. Can't we just do the thing? You know what I mean? Don't do Hydra Cap. But let's table that for now and talk about It's Jeff. The Jeff verse, #1, the first solo series for this character, and man, this book is going insane. I already showed you some of the previous sales of this. But look at this. I mean, there's a bunch of different copies out here. So you have a $9 one or $10 one for this cover. But the A cover, $60 for the first print. This book came out last year, 2023. It's Jeff, $60 for this one right here. Let's take a look at this one. Another $60 sale. You got this one, actually. This is a really cool cover, by the way. You got the shark jumping on the floating rubber ducky right there. I love that thing. Kind of a homage to Jaws. except it's in the reverse order. $20 sale right there. Another $23 sale right there. You got this cover for It's Jeff. You got this one for It's Jeff. You got another one with Spider-Man on it. That's a $30 sale. I mean, this is just printing money at this point. Another $60 sale right there. I mean, this A cover with all the Avengers on it, not this one right here, but let's actually go over to the other one. This one right here, this A cover that has the Avengers on it. This thing is just printing money at this point. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. I mean, because he's got the skin, where he wears the little like dolphin costume on it, and it's hilarious. A shark dressing up like a dolphin. Get out of here. But anyways, this is pretty funny, right? It's pretty cool to see people losing their mind for a silly little shark. Which brings us to the next book, War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, #1. The book that has been speculated on for years now. This is, of course, the first appearance of Luna Snow. That's why it's really moving out there in the market. But there's a bunch of, superheroes in this. There's, Wave, her first appearance. Shout out to the Filipino people out there. She's a superhero in this book. You got the first appearance of Swordmaster, who later becomes the new Iron Fist, which we're going to talk about in a second. But this is one that had a bunch of Asian superheroes in it, and a lot of people were speculating on this one. And then it kind of, did what the market does with these types of books, where it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. And then it went really down, and then it went to like negative money, where you actually had to like give people money for them to take it off your hands. And now it's relevant again, selling for 686% increase in copies sold. But I think what's interesting about this, and again, it goes back to the conversation we've been having, all of the people who were buying it ahead of time were speculating on it because these characters would show up in a movie. Now they're buying it because they're speculating that people are going to be fans of the characters from being in the video game. But at least this time around, like, the characters have arrived. It doesn't have to be that when they're in the movie, that's going to be the top. Like, it doesn't have to be that. Like Luna Snow is now at her cultural relevancy. This was the time. And so I think that that's really the most interesting part about it. It's like, and let's be honest with ourselves. I feel like more people, like, I like Luna Snow from the game more now than if I just saw her in a movie. Like, if she had like a 10-minute scene in a movie, was I really going to be a fan of her? Probably not. But now when I'm actually playing with her, and like doing her alt and dancing up and down, the game map, I'm actually like a fan. I actually like this character. Same thing with this book right here. The other cover with her on the cover. Now, in my last video, I made the mistake. I said it was a Jim Lee cover. What I meant to say was a Jae Hung cover. I apologize. I'm just used to saying Jim Lee. But another book that has been lighting up the lamps, so to speak. Of course, we've talked about this one. West Coast Avengers, #7, first appearance of Jeff the Land Shark. There you see it. The very, very first panel. I wonder if there's an original art page for this. Can you imagine? Does anyone have the original art page for Jeff the Land Shark? I might actually be willing to buy that one. You got this one here with the Avengers cover. Of course, we've talked about Galacta. This book also selling for a lot of money. And then this is the interesting stuff too. New Mutants Annual #2, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #64, and Marvel Superheroes #8. First appearance of Psylocke, Cloak and Dagger, and Squirrel Girl. And it's so funny. I literally was talking about Psylocke in my hiking video that I put out just the other day. I was talking about this book. And it's not to say that this book is selling for, record prices, but all of a sudden, that listing that you've been following on that eBay page, you've been watching, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it shows as sold now. It just gets the books a little more liquid. It makes people go, you know what? I am going to pay $20 for that book. You know what? I am going to pay $31 for that book. I am going to pay $25 for that book. I will bid on this book that is expiring for $15. So people with just a little more interest today than they had with this book yesterday. Similar to this one right here. Of course, the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger, always a very, very cool book. $60 sale, $41 sale, $108 for a 9.4, $62 for this raw copy. You got a Cloak and Dagger #1, a little combo set, $31. That's not too bad. You got a 7.0 selling for $60. I mean, you might as well crack that thing out. This is a book that I never find. This one eludes me all of the time. It's not that it's a rare book. It's not that I've never seen it before. But, I always want to buy this book for like less than $20. Like, I'm always hoping this can be like a dollar bin find for me. And it just hasn't happened. And I know you're thinking like, that's ridiculous swag. Come on, it's a $20 key minimum. No way you're going to find it for $1. Well, it's like I've found $50 keys for dollars before. It's just, I'm stubborn. I want to find this one for cheap. And now it's getting harder because, as you guys can see, just more interest in this book for Cloak and Dagger. And I have to say, playing Cloak and Dagger in the video game is a hell of a lot more fun than watching that very mid Cloak and Dagger TV show that came out that I can't even remember. Was that even Marvel canon? I don't know. And then we have this one, Marvel Superheroes number 8, first appearance of Squirrel Girl. Now, for the longest time, everybody thought Squirrel Girl was like the lamest character ever. At least I think that was what the culture was. But now, in the video game, I think she's like the coolest character in the game. She's hilarious. I mean, this is another book I've never owned, and now I actually kind of want it. I actually really do like that cover. It kind of reminds me of, the Secret Wars cover. But check this out. December 13th, $50 sale right there, or $45, but $55 with tax. $55 for a 6.0. 9.4 going for $100. 9.6 going for $150. We got 31 on a live auction. 34 right there. 65, 35, 62, 26. 120 for another 9.4. I mean, shout out to the 9.4 kings out there. I guess that's where that book is at. $250 for a 9.8 sale right there. Look at that. 1992 book. This one, of course, is a direct edition. There are the newsstands like this one that sold for $75. And this would technically be a year where newsstands are a little more interesting if you're into the whole newsstand thing. Of course, by 1987 was when it starts to kind of turn over. But there you have it. All of a sudden, people becoming fans of Squirrel Girl. And now, Key Collectors put out the Marvel Rivals Skins tab, which I thought was really smart of them to do this. Again, I think that this mostly appeals to the speculator. And I probably will still do a video where I talk about, the books that you can get for the skins, because I want to do something that's catered to the gamers. Like, hey, so you've been playing that game. Now, where do you want to find the books of your favorite skins? Well, here you have it, something like that. I probably still will do something like that, but check this out. Key Collector did a really good job, highlighting it. Incredible Hulk, number 92. If you want that Gladiator skin from Hulk right there, you got to get this book. You want Marvel Action Avengers number 10. You want to get the Captain America AIM skin. Well, this is the book to get it from. You got this book right here. I actually didn't really even know about this one. Planet Hulk number 1. Check out that Captain Gladiator skin right there. This is a really sweet cover. I've read Planet Hulk, but I've read the trade paperback for it, so I've actually never really seen that cover. You got Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 6. This, of course, is the Winter Soldier skin. Winter Soldier is a totally OP character in this game. You got this one right here, Amazing Spider-Man 569, the Anti-Venom skin. Anytime these spider characters are, inverted with the white and black style, I feel like that's always popular. You got a bunch of stuff right here. Check this one, Thor number 1, Thor Herald of Thunder skin. Check that out. Man, remember when this series kicked off with Donny Cates and everyone was losing their mind? This one brings me back. This to me is like the original series of COVID that everyone went crazy for. Are we ever going to get a payoff of Thanos with the Mjolnir Infinity Stones thing? Remember that image? Whatever happened to that? I hope Donnie finishes that story. Uncanny X-Men 173. I didn't even realize that this was the first appearance of Storm in her Mohawk look. I mean, that's pretty cool. I myself prefer the original look, which is down here, in the X-Men Jim Lee style. I happen to prefer her white outfit. I also happen to prefer this X-Men cover, by the way, because, the splash page is the best one for reasons. But this one has, the original Master of Magnetism skin, as well as the Ivory Breeze Storm, which is, in my opinion, that's Storm to me, right? Like that's the look. That's the one. My favorite Storm. I don't know about you guys. You got Uncanny X-Men 256, Psylocke costume. I'll tell you what, the kids, they love this costume. I don't know why they love it, but they love it. It's too bad that Psylocke didn't make her first appearance in costume on a cover. If she did, that would be $1 million book. Does she actually have this costume in this book right here? Is that actually the case? I remember going on a, Marvel wiki rabbit hole one day trying to figure out when her first cover appearance of this outfit was. And I feel like it's not a very good one. Is she actually in the interior pages wearing this outfit? Or is she dressed like this right here? Man, Psylocke has like the weirdest first appearance, dilution of all of the books. Anyways, I thought I would just show you guys, how they got all of the skins here related to the book. Superior Iron Man #1. Yeah, we got Superior Iron Man in there, man. Another book that just keeps getting resurrected from the dead. Don't call it a comeback. What if we get Superior Iron Man in Secret Wars? Are people going to lose their minds? Are those guys that are just sitting on 15 long boxes of this book just going to be like, here we go, guys. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for to dump it on the market. Insane. Got Swordmaster #1. I don't know about the character Swordmaster. I think he's a much better version of Iron Fist. I think this Lin Lee guy should just be the new Iron Fist, in my opinion. Sorry to Danny Rand fans, but they did dirty to your boy. You got the Rocket Raccoon skin, the original Rocky skin. I mean, how cool is that? That's some deep lore right there. This was such a fun series. Rocket Raccoon #1. And then you got some other ones here, And speaking of Iron Fist, that's also a trending book. Iron Fist #1 from 2022. Remember when they did this one? And they created the new Iron Fist? They made Swordmaster, who was introduced in War of the Realms, and then they brought him, his own series as Swordmaster, and then they made him Iron Fist. They probably should have done that from the beginning. If they made this guy the Shang-Chi movie instead and just called it Iron Fist, I think that would have been better. I'm sorry, guys. I just did not like Shang-Chi. I could be in the minority there, but it's not my favorite movie. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. That was me doing a little bit of a look in, a little bit of a market report. Welcome to the YouTube channel that only covers Marvel Rivals these days. What can I say, guys? I think this game is so cool. I think it's so fun, and I love talking about this. And even if we all think it's silly, and it's all a bunch of speculators, it's still interesting. We're over here on the sidelines, eating our popcorn, and we're seeing movement out there for Jeff. And that's great, right? That's just fun. We don't need to yell at anyone. It's, a fool and their money are soon parted. It's fine. It's hilarious. Let these people buy a shark on a cover. It's good for the comic book market. Anyways, that's all for this video. That was me going over these books. What do you guys think about all this? How do you guys feel about Key Collector hopping on the train right here? And how do we feel about, 9 books showing up on the trending 20 list due to the Marvel Rivals video game? I mean, here we go. Every time you think that there's nothing to talk about in comic book land, you always find something to talk about. Anyways, that's all for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.